recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And this week, we have a big show for you here. A range of different hot topics, everything from Vegas to concerts and even tattoos. And we're also going to give our reviews of the new Maverick Top Gun movie. So you're going to want to stick around for this one. So joining me in today's discussion is a very familiar face to the show. Everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. Well, unless you're a Scottsdale bar owner. He is the one and only Mr. Erik Tapia. Woo! Yes, Erik. Welcome back, buddy.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. It's always nice to have you back on the show.
It's good to be back. Love what you've done with the studio.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So, before we get this whole thing going, something that needs to be addressed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so a few months ago, sitting at home, doing what most people do, watch the Josh and Friends podcast. Probably having an Erik drink or six. And, your guest at the time, Topher, decides that he wants to end his podcast by challenging me. So what I'm going to do is start my podcast with the response.
Oh, really? Oh, what's this?
So Topher, this goes out to you, buddy. You come after the champ, and just like your favorite band, you too will be dead by April.
Whoa!
Acknowledge me.
Dang, man, we're gonna have to get this going here. This is like old school right here.
Oh yeah. Okay. So now that that's out of the way.
Watch out, Topher. Watch out, Topher.
Yeah. On to the real topics at hand.
Oh man, wow. I've never had a show start like that. Well, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good show.
That's what happens.
You start off with a bang like that, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about today, including the review of the Maverick movie. Did you see the Maverick movie?
Yeah, Mel Gibson, that Western movie. It was all right. Not as good as Wild Wild West, but it was pretty decent.
That's true. Yeah. But of course, we're talking about the Maverick Top Gun movie. Maybe I should always end it with Top Gun so people know what we're talking about here. Very timely reference, too, like 1994 or something like that.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. So now we are going to get to that. But first, let's talk about Vegas.
Ooh.
Now, you last year, you hadn't even been to Vegas. Right?
No, up until last year, I had never been to Vegas.
Now, how many times have you been to Vegas since?
So in less than a year, I've been to Vegas 4 or 5 times already.
What the heck?
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, by the way. So now, Erik, you're kind of like addicted now to Vegas.
I mean, like Andy said, the seal's been broken.
Yeah.
It's floodgates are open.
Right.
Now, usually when I've been going the last few times, it's for an event for wrestling.
Right.
But, you're in Vegas, so you got to be up for whatever. So.
What does that mean? Are you down? What are you like getting call girls and?
Well, no, I don't. Whoa. I'd rather sit at the table all night than spend my money on that.
Now, are you gambling when you go out there, or what are you doing?
I've dabbled in gambling.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there all night. I'd rather walk around with a drink in my hand than to sit down with a drink in my hand and lose all my money.
Now, what kind of drinks you ordering over in Vegas?
Well, you know me. If I go to a place that I've never been to, I'm trying something that I've never heard of.
Do you ever get those big tall drinks when you go out there?
Oh yeah, I've gotten some, like the Eiffel Tower.
It's a little kind of sweet for me. They're like hangover drinks, They're
they're all
touristy
fruity
drinks.
So, but they're nice because then you can just grab another drink or grab a shot here and there and pour it in. And
do you bet on any sports when you're out there?
No, I haven't.
No, not yet. I'm sure that'll be coming because you're going to be like, well, what else can I do out here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, there's always something new I'm looking into.
Have you walked around? Have you just walked down the strip and back? And
I walked down the strip, been through the not so good parts of Vegas. It looks like,
oh yeah,
parts that look like my area, and it's like, oh, it's not that different when you think about it.
Oh man,
that's the suburbs of Vegas, if that's what you call it.
Yeah,
the slums.
Yeah. So another thing that you've been getting into, tattoos.
Yes.
Now, last week you showed me. You're like, hey, I got a tattoo. Yeah. And then literally since last week, you got another tattoo.
Yeah, while I was in Vegas.
What are these tattoos? Are they both visible on you, or?
Well, yeah, they're on my arm. You probably can't pick it up, right?
We'll have to take a picture of it and
right there. Nope.
Put it on the screen here. Display it.
Well, yeah. So the first one I got done at a place near my house. I had been talking about getting a tattoo for a while. Finally walked into the shop, and they have 2 books. Open up the first book. As soon as I see it, I'm like, that's the one.
Whoa.
I'm like, I browsed through the other photos, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is the first one I chose. That's what I'm going to go with.
What was it?
It's just a skull with the rose in its mouth. Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy, but it's random.
You just like kind of like you flip open the book, you just randomly boom right there. That's what I want.
That's what I was going to do at first. But my sister talked to me. She's like, this is permanent, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, but that's the whole point.
Oh God.
Can't be up for whatever if you're not up for whatever.
Right. And then the next tattoo.
Speaking of that, yeah. So in Vegas for a wrestling event, and the show's over. It's like 11 o'clock. We're walking, and lo and behold, there's a 24-hour tattoo shop only in Vegas.
Now, are you drunk, or are you anything to drink?
No, I wouldn't say drunk, but
Erik doesn't get drunk.
No,
it takes a lot for Erik to get drunk.
But I'm feeling good. I'm good. I'm feeling good, feeling alive. That adrenaline's going. You're at a big event, so we stop in, and I'm like, how much for this? And I just literally, they have some type of machine. You write out what you want. They have all different fonts, and same thing. I'm scrolling through the fonts. Boom, pick one out. Guy's like, I can do it right now. All right, let's go. So my second tattoo literally says up for whatever.
It doesn't get any more perfect than that.
No.
And that's exactly what I would expect you to get on your. Is that right under the other one?
Oh yeah, it's right underneath. So they kind of go hand in hand.
You're going to be having a full sleeve here pretty soon, man.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
At this point, because
Yeah.
Now it's like
you have the bug, right?
I broke the seal and everything. I'm just breaking all sorts of seals and everything. Vegas left and right, tattoos left and right. I don't know what's next.
Oh man, you're like out of control over here. Yeah. Out of control. Now, speaking of getting out of control and getting crazy and wild, during your first appearance on the show, we're going way back. During your first appearance on the show, we talked about going to the bars in Scottsdale, and that was a great experience, right?
Oh, it was wonderful.
What happened during that?
It was a lifetime experience. Once in a lifetime.
What happened during that? Just as a refresher, what happened during that experience? And now, wasn't that one of the times when I had all my friends in town?
Yeah. You had some people from town, so it was a whole group of us. Keep in mind, I am. Yeah, only the only minority in the group, but hey, nonetheless. Oh, God. So we go up to Bottled Blonde, and you look around. It's got the open patio, and there's people wearing, whatever.
It's in the middle of the day.
Middle of the day, they're wearing flip flops and all sorts of BS.
Yeah.
I walk up there, hand the guy my ID, never looks up once at me, scans the ID, and then says, "We can't let you in." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "'Cause your shoes." I'm look down. I'm wearing Air Force Ones. And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And at this point, he's still not looking up at me. He's just trying to get to the next person.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around, literally watching everybody else go in without an issue.
We were all ahead of you.
Yeah. Everybody had got in at that point. So I'm like, I walk back, and then now everybody that was on the patio they come out.
And by the way, this is in the middle of the day. It's not even that packed. There's not that many people in the bar. We were just going out for an afternoon kind of,
and then
couple
Lee,
drinks.
I tell Lee what happens. He's like, switch me shoes.
Lee got so pissed, man.
He goes up to the bouncer the bouncer first to try to figure out what's going on. Then he comes back and says, switch me shoes. Like, we need to test this out. Switch me shoes. Well, probably should have, just to see.
Yeah. Now, all right. So, yeah, and we just ended up leaving, right? Because we were like, we're not going to stay here. Well, we're going to go find some other place to spend our money.
Exactly. I mean,
so,
Scottsdale.
Now, there was an article that just came out about that. And apparently this is happening a lot more than I even heard of ever before. The news story was released this week by ABC 15 in Arizona, and bouncers at Casa Amigos, which is a club right in that area, they said that they have these rules in place to prevent fights, as patrons in the past have been aggressively protective of their high-end sneakers. And that led to confrontations. This is supposedly what they say, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah. Now, I have a question for you. Do you think if Michael Jordan or LeBron James stepped up and they were wearing those shoes, do you think that they would be allowed in?
Hell no. They'd get VIP treatment. I mean, Josh, let's be honest. If you walked in wearing some retro sneakers or Air Force Ones,
right,
you would be let in.
Yeah,
come on in, sir, and have a seat.
That's exactly what Lee was trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Now it does appear that even though the rules from management say otherwise, the bouncers, they say that they have the ultimate decision on who is allowed in. You know, it's generally how it is. The bouncers, they're the ones that make the decision, the final decision, because they're the ones that are, you know, in the front making all the, checking all the cards and letting everybody in. But the same rules do not apply to everyone, as you mentioned, probably for white people, but girls are allowed to wear those shoes in. That's what they were talking about in this article.
Can you imagine a bunch of Instagram models being denied access because of what the shoes?
And a lot of girls actually wear those shoes now, like the Air Force Ones and the Air Jordans and all those kinds of shoes. Now, I was once denied into a Scottsdale bar for wearing like an 80s like headband as like part of a costume. It's clearly like a costume. They're like, we will not let you in. I was like, do you want me to really? You just want me to take this off? It's a joke, but they make some great points in this article too. This is a sports bar would not let someone in for wearing Jordan 1s. And they were showing the UNC game and, it's a sports bar, and that's where Jordan went to, college. You're
just going to ban all Jordans at that point?
It's ridiculous.
Any athletic wear is banned at a sports bar?
So stupid. But one of the people interviewed said that it might be to prevent fights, as they kind of alluded to before. But that's not it at all, in my opinion. The man interviewed said that it's really more about keeping out a certain crowd.
Oh, of course. I mean, I've seen quite a few bar fights, and not once has it ever been over somebody's shoes.
Right. They said, yeah, right. They said that because if you had 10 people in line wearing Jordans, 8 of the 10 people are going to be black. I don't know how accurate that is, but they also said that you could just skirt the issue by slipping a $20 bill to the bouncer, and then you'd be gaining entry into the bar. But I'm like, fuck that, man.
No,
you really you have to pay someone to turn the other way because you're like,
and I'd probably have to give them 40.
Dick. Yeah, so, right. Yeah. Whatever, dude. So anyway,
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Yeah,
Scottsdale can kiss my ass.
So yeah, just like we said before, we left. We gave someone else our money, which, by the way, we had a huge group of people. So and we're drinking. So think of how much money they lost just because they didn't want to let someone in with
the other bars around there. Didn't have any issues. They could care less what shoes you had on as long as you had some shoes on.
They don't give a shit. Yeah. No. I think, didn't we go to, I don't even know what bar we went to.
I know we went to El Jefe, Gilligan's.
All the other bars let us in.
Oh, yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, this last weekend, was pretty exciting. We had some, you went to Vegas, but before that, we went to a concert. This was actually my first concert. Remember, it was supposed to be, in a couple of years. It was my first concert. Not my first concert ever, but it's been a couple of years. It was supposed to be October, but with that ticket thing that happened.
Yeah, the whole ticket fiasco, ticket gate.
Yeah, but we ended up going. You've been to a few concerts, and you've been to many concerts.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who 90% of the bands I saw were, but I've been to quite a few concerts.
That's because you're up for whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up for whatever.
Now, but you, me, Jen, we attended Tears for Fears featuring Garbage. Kind of a odd pairing, Garbage and Tears for Fears, but
I guess
it worked. I guess
it made sense at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it was funny listening to the bands talk about it was just so hot. They were just talking about how hot it was because I think Tears for Fears, they're from England, and then
the late girl from Garbage is not from here either.
Scotland or something. Yeah. So and she was like, I'm from Scotland. I'm not used to this heat. She kept talking about how hot it was. I'm like, oh God. And it's funny because I looked it up later, and Scotland, the average temperature in Scotland is around 50 degrees.
Oh yeah, no,
that's the average temperature.
She was wearing like layered clothing. She kept having to take a break, drink some water. She was probably, especially on stage, she's got to be getting super dehydrated.
Yeah, even
more hot.
One of the guys from Tears for Fears was like, he's like, I'm experiencing some dry throat and like.
Oh yeah, it's the dry heat.
Yeah, no, and I bet on stage it was like way hotter with all the lights and the closed off sides and everything.
And they're moving around.
Yeah, we're up in the lawn. It's all breezy.
Had the nice breeze.
Right, it actually felt pretty
grass.
Good. Yeah. So, but let's back up a second. So we are heading to the show, which is at the Action Pavilion, or
correct?
Yeah. And that's in Phoenix. It's deep in.
It's almost like going towards
South
Avondale.
Okay, yeah. So now none of us had eaten. We're on our way. So we're like, you know what? Let's grab something fast, something quick, something that you could like eat while you're driving and everything. And we were like, let's just stop at the McDonald's and like grab like something you could just like a hamburger or something.
McDonald's is always quick and easy, right?
Right. It's like the fastest. It's the it's not good, but what, we're not going to be getting good food in the pavilion either. So
no.
So anyway,
and it's cheap.
Exactly.
It's cheap.
So we stop off at McDonald's. We don't have a lot of time here, so we're like, what, let's just grab something real quick. So we pull into, by the way, first warning was the person that was like in front of us. Weren't they like backing up when we were pulling in? We're like,
oh yeah, I think there was one of those 2-lane drive-throughs, and you had cars on each end, and the one we went into was trying to back out.
I was like, why are they backing out?
I'm like, I guess they changed their mind.
I don't know. Yeah. We're like, all right. Okay. So we pull in and I don't know how long we were sitting there, Eric.
It had to be at least 5 to 10 minutes. We were trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. We're waiting to hear from the other car. We're like, okay, I think they ordered. And then we see them backing out. And by then it's too late. There's a car behind us, and
so we're trapped in there. And I was like, what's going on? And then Jen starts, she's about to start yelling. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, don't ever yell at, the people in before getting your food. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
You can do it after. Just don't send the food back. Or
I've seen the movie Waiting. Have you seen the movie Waiting? Absolutely. You don't ever do that. Yeah. So
do not ever send your food back, people. Ever.
So we're like, don't yell into the intercom. So we just waited a couple more minutes, and I was like, hello, is anybody here? Like, anybody?
Yeah, you said it nice. You're like, hello?
Yeah.
Anybody here?
I was like, I guess not. So like we start driving off, and literally right when we drove off, we're like, hello, can I take your order? And I was like,
the car right behind us gets to get their order taken.
You son of a, So
perfect timing.
So that's how it started. So it's always got to be something, right? So, so
we just said F it.
Yeah.
And just keep trucking along.
Anyway, so we're driving, and we find a parking spot. We go in, and then we go into the show, and I so we got some food at the venue though, right? Yeah. So we're like, all right, so we're still hungry. First things first, before Erik gets wanded and patted down, and you actually got through like fine.
No, and I told you, I'm like, this is my side of town. Like I don't have to worry about those same things I would if I were in Scottsdale or downtown Phoenix.
That's true.
No, they go right in, no questions asked, no issues.
You're like, yep, this is my town here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I could go in with damn near anything I wanted to, and I'd be fine.
Now, in that part of town, I'm kind of like the one there, kind of like, there's been some shootings recently. You are a white male.
Yeah.
No. So we ended up getting some jumbo dogs, and
which apparently that was a mistake because you guys just wanted regular hot dogs.
Right. I'm like, can I just get a regular? He's like, here it is. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like a 4-foot hot dog. I don't need a 4-foot.
It was pretty big. I saw it. It was big.
Yeah. So I'm like, I guess I'll give you this one, Erik. And but Erik, we come back, we find our seats, and we notice that your hot dog, it looks as if someone jizzed all over it.
Well,
what was on your hot dog?
I put barbecue and then I put ranch on it.
I didn't see any barbecue, but I definitely saw the ranch. And
yeah, Jen quickly pointed out the ranch, and from then on, that whole rest of the night, it was a jizz dog. Which again, no shame. I gladly ate it. I enjoyed it.
Now, so you put ranch and barbecue sauce on your hot dog? That's kind of an interesting mix there.
Yeah, I didn't feel like going commando, and I didn't feel like ketchup. So.
I know that they had ketchup. I know that they had mustard because I put mustard on mine. But you weren't into that. You're just.
I mean, normally I go with just ketchup.
Yeah.
Not a fan of mustard.
You sound like Rich Falls. He's like, I just like ketchup. I'm a 5-year-old child.
But I'm like, I might as well try something new. So again,
there you go.
Whatever.
Yeah. Right. All right. So how was the jizz dog?
It was amazing. I was not gonna lie. If you haven't tried barbecue and ranch on a hot dog, doesn't matter the size of the hot dog, just try it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and you'll enjoy it.
Now, what are you drinking now? You drinking some?
We're drinking some Stone Cold Steve Austin American Lager. Just came out in March, Austin 316
really?
Day, and I've been trying to get my hands on it, and finally Total Wine had it in stock. So,
dang, yeah, nice. I think I've tasted that. It's like a dark beer, right? Darker beer or what?
Not this.
This is a different kind?
Yeah, the other one that was the India Pale Ale. Oh. This is American Lager, so it's not as potent.
Wow. Nice. All right. One of my favorite parts of the show was not anything to do with the show. It was Jen getting angry before the show. Like people walking in front of us, the people standing up like...
Oh yeah, well she was holding that big ass blanket, and then they were like telling everybody to unfold it. And she's like, and she had the tickets, so she had to manage the tickets and try to unfold the blanket.
Oh god, it's so funny. Like everything pisses her off. Slow people walking. My favorite was the guy that was like flashing up his flashlight so his wife could see where he is, and it's just blinding the shit out of us. And I'm like, dude. And she's like, I'm about to go crazy. And I'm like, just calm down.
Well, yeah. And at that point, like I said, none of us had eaten yet. So she's probably a little hangry. And then, she picked the spot and we're like, okay, this is going to be a good spot. And then lo and behold, people just come in and they start sitting in front, standing up. She can't see.
Oh, it's so great.
That's always the downside.
Yeah.
On the shorter end when you're at concerts.
But anyway, the concert was good.
Oh,
right?
The concert was great.
Concert was good. The band sounded great. Played all the hits.
Yeah. It's like they haven't aged a bit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, well, except for the long gray hair. And No, they sounded good. It was a Friday, so we are kind of tired. Yeah. I looked over a couple times, and Erik was kind of like nodding off during some of the slow songs. Maybe he was just meditating and taking it all in.
I was just feeling it. I was in the moment. Like you guys were at the pavilion. I was somewhere else. I was in the moment.
You were in another dimension somewhere. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. Tears for Fears can do that to you.
Yeah. And a jizz dog. That'll do it to you.
Yeah. Right. So now it's the show's over. They already did their encore. It's time to pack it up. Time to drive home. You're exhausted, right? So, by the way, you had one of my favorite quotes of the day when we were driving there, because we were talking about upcoming shows and artists that are going to be coming into town. and I said, like, what did I say? I go, oh man, that'd be a good show. And then Erik, you're like, just let me know whenever you want to catch a show, because I'm available Sunday to Sunday.
Sunday through Sunday. Yep. Any day of the week.
Literally any day. Up for whatever. Oh, now you could just go like this. You could just go up for whatever.
Yeah, boom. That's what I do for my concerts now. I get hit up like, hey, are you busy this day? I'm like, no.
You're the go-to concert guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I used to have a go-to concert.
And it does. I don't care who it is. Well, I could go see Kid Rock. That's
there you
fine.
go. There you go.
Kid Rock.
Ted Nugent's in town. Yeah. Eric's down.
Yeah. I'll go see him, Uncle Ted, and go to a Trump rally. I don't care. Whatever.
All right, so we get back to my truck. Yes. And first off, right when we get to my truck, you had some fans that came up to you.
Apparently so. Yeah. Obviously, they were more inebriated than I was.
Yeah. So I mean, they were having a good time, and this is pretty hilarious because they all started dancing around you like it was like a dance party. Yeah. But we're in the middle of the parking lot, and it's like, look, you wear inviting shirts, like, kind of like, shirts like this. And dude, people notice that, man. And it just says, hey, I'm looking to party. I'm here to have a good time. And they sensed that, and they started dancing around you. And I couldn't grab my phone, like, because I was enjoying the show so much. And I finally got the tail end of it.
It was like, two older couples. Yeah. Just
so hilarious.
Felt like I was at a swingers party. I was like, all right. Like, if this is how they get down, then all right, let's go.
Oh God. So yeah. So after the drunk group scattered, we pile into the truck, and we're about ready to head off. And I start driving. I was like, something feels wrong. Something doesn't feel right.
Right away. Right away.
And I was like, oh man, dude, what's going on? And then you looked over and you're like, you saw that the sensor
rear tire is like 5. Air pressure was at 5. I'm like, 5. That's not good.
Yeah, so I just ran out, and I was like, oh dude, it's completely flat. Oh. So here we are. But the good news is it's at night in Phoenix, late at night in Phoenix. We're not on a busy street. We're in the middle of a parking lot that's lit up, right? Yeah. So that's the good news. The bad news is I never had a flat tire in that truck, so I didn't know where anything was. So they scatter tools all over, like in the place. So I'm sitting here Googling stuff, and we're trying to find
the first thing I asked, so like, is there a jack in the car?
Right. You're like, that's a great question, Erik. That is a great question. Yeah. So Erik kind of like just takes charge. He's like, you know what? Time to fucking start doing this. So we find some of the tools, but the jack.
Oh, the jack was
so hilariously horrible.
I don't know why they even bother putting it in the truck. What's it gonna do?
It was so awful. Like, I don't even know if you could use it, right? Like, it's not even usable.
No, because it doesn't. The truck is already high enough,
right,
to where the jack can't lift it up off the ground. So what's the point?
It's so ridiculous.
Come on, Chevy, do better.
Thankfully, your sister and your dad were close, relatively close.
Yeah.
And your sister was able to bring the real jack over.
Oh yeah, no,
and that just went right up, boom, right up. And right after that, and then we had to try to figure out how to get the tire.
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass, figuring out the spare tire, how to lower that.
God, what a nightmare. But again, it could have been worse, but thanks to Erik and his family. I've never felt more like Chuck Shute in my entire life. I'm like just sitting here, like, I guess I can help you? Let me know what I can do. You're just like, get out of my way. Yeah.
No, and again, had we figured out the spare tire would have been done a lot sooner, but it was that
trying to poke the
location and that was a pain.
So that was fun. That was fun.
Good times.
But the next day, they you just took it to the tire place and they just patched it up. Here's your truck. I'm like, wow, there you go. You didn't have to pay for anything. That's crazy. So before we get to the Maverick review, Top Gun review. Maverick Top Gun review. There is some big news that I'd like to bring up that happened recently, and that was Ray Liotta actually died this last week here, and he was 67 years old. Now, the actor was known for his roles in Field of Dreams and Copland and Hannibal, and of course Goodfellas. Oh yeah, right. So, a question for you, Eric. The movie Goodfellas, is that the greatest gangster movie of all time? Or, some say that, some say that it is Godfather or Godfather 2, but Goodfellas is always right up there.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
That's a great question. I would have to say it's right behind Godfather, only because I feel Godfather laid the foundation, and Goodfellas. So, Godfather's about family. Goodfellas is about taking what's yours. That's what it's about. The big
old heist. No, and Goodfellas like set the bar for movies to come, and The Sopranos. Half the people in that show are from The Sopranos.
Like badass and just don't give a shit type of attitudes, and
it's certainly more quick and entertaining, and the way they do it, where they the narration of the movie and everything like that. So many quotes from that movie, so many great scenes.
Just the opening line.
Yeah.
Like as long as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah.
As far back as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
That's perfect. And then it goes into isn't he like stabbing the shit out of it? Yeah. And then obviously the famous Pesci scene where, he's like, you think I'm funny? You funny how? How you think I'm funny?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Not just, how you tell a story. What?
Might be the most uncomfortable scene in cinema history. Watching that scene, you're like, I feel like I need to run, but yeah. But Ray Liotta, he was also in some other stuff. I mean, let's give him you look at his credits, it's a mile long. So let's not forget about some of his other, classic sleepers, like Operation Dumbo Drop.
I should be on some high-priority mission with a group of crack commandos. Instead, I'm in an episode of McHale's Navy, starring Dumbo, Mr. French, and the Three Stooges.
And Muppets from Space.
Look deeply into my eyes and tell me you want me to go.
I want you to go. Understand? Now.
I think I'm gonna miss those.
And of course his appearance in Wild Hogs.
Well, you're probably a podiatrist or ear, nose, and throat specialist.
I wish.
Orthodontist.
Oh.
Did you ever see Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs, I did see.
Yeah, see
that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one. I don't know if I'd call it a Liotta classic, but it's
how dare you? How dare you?
More of like a Travolta classic.
Yeah, that's an ensemble cast there, right? You got the Wild Hogs crew.
Yeah, I mean, you make that movie, I don't know, 20 years earlier, and it might be great. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Coming of age film of all these old guys riding their stupid Harleys. Yeah, isn't his scene where he's like calling out everybody and shit? He's like,
well, yeah, he's the bad biker guy, and he's going after the other four.
Oh gosh.
But he could, he could pretty much do anything and whatever it took. So yeah, hearing that he died, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, kind of weird. 67, that's pretty young, right? All right, Eric. So let's get to it. Let's get to our movie review here, buddy. Maverick, Top Gun. Probably the biggest movie of the year. It's going to be probably. I mean, this is the long-awaited sequel to the 1986 film Top Gun, and this film was actually delayed by almost 2 years due to the pandemic. And brilliant move on their part, by the way, because this movie ended up, being, I believe it's the biggest opening movie of Tom Cruise's career. Yeah, so I think it took in just over Memorial Day weekend, took over $156 million.
Damn.
Which is insane, right?
You're talking almost 40 years of just nostalgia just waiting to come back.
Yeah. So, Eric, what did you think of the Maverick Top Gun movie?
It was better than my expectations were, as with most sequels that come out years later. Action sequences were good, not too much overuse of CGI or anything like that. So I thought that was great.
That's huge.
I'd say one of my biggest disappointments was that the main song, they didn't bring it back. Take My Breath Away.
How dare you? See, for me, Lee, and Ethan, that would have been our favorite part of the movie.
I kept waiting for it to come on, and nope, not even a glimpse, not even there was plenty of opportunities to drop it in there. And they chose not to.
Well, they did bring back the two best songs from the movie, Danger Zone.
Well, okay, Danger Zone, yeah.
And the title, the main theme.
Well, yeah.
They used those throughout the movie. Now, I have yet to hear a bad review of this movie. It's really, with this type of film, I think it was a perfect mix of nostalgia and introducing new characters who were good. I wouldn't say they were great, but they were good.
Are you giving away any spoilers, or are we?
I am going to give some spoilers, so we should probably let people know if you want to.
Spoiler alert!
If you want to stop this and continue it on another time.
It's not a prediction.
Yeah,
it's a spoiler.
So so take note of that. But also, I think that movie franchises that are going to be attempting to do movies like this in the future, like, the Indiana Jones, I think that movie, when they redid that movie, it's terrible.
Maybe they should do a Showdown in Little Tokyo next.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but, so yeah, like you mentioned, the stunts are insane.
Yeah.
Like, they actually did like real flying, and it shows, because CGI, man, it just,
the overuse of
you
it.
can always tell about CGI, and it's like annoying to me. Cheap looking special effects. It still sucks. I still go back to when I first saw, the Star Wars 1999 Phantom Menace in the theater, and I was like, it's like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's so bad.
No, it's like when the effects of a 70s and 80s movie are better and more realistic than today's movies, then
because they would build like big giant sets with actual real stuff, so it still even looked better than typing it out on a computer with a green screen. And so but this movie, the action scenes were awesome. I mean, it really did feel like you were almost like an amusement ride. You know?
No, you could have totally have done like a 3D virtual experience.
Totally, yeah. I could, like, doing like the shaking the seats and stuff like that.
And I saw it in IMAX.
Oh, did you?
And apparently IMAX, they use special cameras when shooting it. So if you watch it in IMAX,
oh man, that's awesome.
You get like I forget how much percentage. You get like more picture. There's actually like more of the video that they shot.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
So
that's cool. So I mean, I don't know if I'll go back and see it again, but if I did, I would go probably.
Oh yeah,
see it in
I would
IMAX.
recommend it.
But I did enjoy our theater where we had the reclining seats. It's just awesome, man. But this movie is currently sitting at a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics, at a 99% with the fans or the audience. So now this is crazy. Tom Cruise is 59 years old. Looks pretty good in that movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell he's 59. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of deal with the devil he's made with that church, Scientology.
Scientology, probably a Freemason, and but he's probably one of the elites.
Yeah, it seems to be working out though.
Yeah, hey, more power to him.
Eric's like, someone comes up to your door and, "Hi, sir, I'm from the church Scientology." He's like, "I'm up for whatever." Eric's like a part of all these like different religions.
And they're like, I'll hear them out. I'll hear what they got to say. They got to make me an offer I can't refuse.
Yes. Now, Erik, have you seen the movie Iron Eagle?
That one I know I've seen it, but that one I don't recall like as much. Like watching Top Gun Maverick, like the stuff from the first Top Gun, like it all just starts coming back to memory.
Now, the reason I bring that up is, well, you look, first off, people under 35 years old are probably not going to remember, Iron Eagle, So unless you actively searched it out for some strange reason or caught it on, reruns on TNT or whatever.
Yeah, or listen to the comparison podcast episode of Josh and Friends.
Yeah, the movie battle. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So a few episodes back, Lee, Ethan, and myself, we did the movie battle between Top Gun and Iron Eagle. We went through the whole, list of all the different, things that between the two movies. And
so maybe next up is Top Gun Maverick against Iron Eagle too.
Well, so the reason I'm bringing this up is I feel that the writers of Maverick, Top Gun, they actually combine the best elements from those two previous movies. And as a result, was this fantastic movie that everybody loves.
What is it? The Mission? Is that what it is?
Now, hear me out, Erik. Hear me out. This might be very controversial.
Oh,
but I'm gonna go through some of these here, and just it might spark up some
controversial or conspiracy.
Oh, I don't know, but I gotta say, these first, Top Gun and Iron Eagle, they both came out in 1986. So, I think the writer for this movie is probably somewhere around my age. So it could be possible that he's like, you know what, we could make the greatest movie ever if we just combine these two, right? So Iron Eagle is partially about Chappie, who's played by Lou Gossett Jr., right?
Yeah.
And he's the badass old timer guy who helps out the younger guys in a crisis. In this movie, that character is who?
Tom Cruise.
Maverick. Absolutely. Now, in Iron Eagle, Doug Masters and Chappie, they steal 2 F-16s from the United States Air Force to rescue Doug's dad, Ted Masters. In Maverick, Top Gun, Maverick defies the Admiral's orders, taking the plane airborne to push it past Mach 10. So they both kind of like steal airplanes.
Well, yeah, he did that one, and then he stole it to show him that the mission could be done.
Exactly. In Iron Eagle, Doug is challenged to ride the snake, which is a crazy trek through the mountains that could prove deadly if you are not a good pilot. In Maverick, Top Gun, they are training for their mission through a dangerous series of mountains that could also kill them if they're not able to recover and pull up from that low altitude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of this so far? What do you think of this?
I mean, they're neck and neck.
Yeah. All right. So in Iron Eagle, Doug Masters, he listens to old school rock music while flying like a complete jerk in Maverick Top Gun. Maverick is flying like a total jerk to The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. He won't get fooled again. So look at this.
Now I am going to have to go back and watch Iron Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. Maverick risks his own life for the mission, just like Chappie did for Doug.
Well,
And Maverick is also shot down, making the viewer think for a brief moment, that he is dead. But they both come back in the end. Yeah. So just a couple more of these. And the fact that I have this many is pretty wild.
So I think this is their way of ensuring Iron Eagle doesn't come back and do the same thing.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's what happened here.
Yeah. They're like, look, we're just gonna combine both movies. We're just gonna put this one to death.
Yeah.
In Iron Eagle, Doug lands in enemy territory, picks up his dad, and takes off over a damaged runway to eventually be rescued by the United States Air Force.
Damaged runway.
In Maverick Top Gun, both Rooster and Maverick are shot down, run over to enemy territory, and then take off over a damaged runway to eventually be rescued by Hangman and the U.S. Navy. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I will say about that scene that I thought was kind of dumb. But was when Maverick's already down, and then he sees Rooster coming down, and he's like, the first shot is like the forest is like miles away.
And he's just running
you just see him running the entire time, and he makes it like right as when the kid lands. Like, come on.
And then he gets angry. Yeah. All right. The last one here is also at the beginning of the movie, Maverick gets rewarded with an instructor's job for basically stealing that airplane he did, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like Doug Masters when he was rewarded by getting accepted into the Air Force Academy for stealing the F-16 in Iron Eagle. So what do you think of that? What do you think of that?
They took the script and fluffed it up a little bit.
That's all I kept seeing in that movie. I'm like, this is Iron Eagle. This movie's Iron Eagle.
They shot down Iron Eagle's chance of making a comeback. I think all of that was intentional.
Oh, it's so great. So great. All right. So now I think that, you were talking about how there was there's some annoying parts, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of this movie, it's so cheesy. It's so great though. It's so cheesy. It's something that most people wouldn't even catch, but I'm so overly aware of, editing and sound and stuff like that. So there's this part where Maverick's love interest, Penny, they're out, she takes them out sailing. And the sound effects of this are nothing short of hilarious because first off, okay, Eric, they wanted to make this seem like the water was wild and treacherous.
The boat's almost tipped over. When they start, the boat is like,
it's so ridiculous. They make it sound like it's like Master and Commander or something,
torrential
right?
downpour.
And I'm like, and then they pan out and like, look, we know where this is. This is in San Diego, and the water's all smooth. It's like a bright sunny day. It's not. There's no storm going on here, and it's just hilarious because the sound effects they try to get these low shots with like rough water and stuff like that. And I'm like, this doesn't match up.
I was waiting for him to fall over
This is
just because of how far the boat was. I was like, okay, was this just gonna tip over, or is this?
It's so ridiculous. That was a funny part to me because it did not match what I'm looking at on the screen as much as they tried to make us think that with the sound effects.
I was saying what was funny to me about that is like at the end, like he's finally got control, and then she comes up behind him, like she's
you idiot, just move aside, you idiot, you dummy. He's like, I'm a pilot, I'm not a So I also liked how Maverick was literally thrown out onto his ass.
Oh yeah,
from that bar.
Yeah.
Now, Eric, have you ever been physically thrown out of a bar?
No, physically, no.
That makes one of us. That
Oh.
makes one.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I've helped escort people out.
Oh, really?
Physically, but I
Okay.
myself have never been physically.
It's because no one can throw you out of a bar.
I don't think they could.
Right.
I don't know why they'd want to. Anyway, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. Yep. There he is. No, but you know what? Some of I would say the cringiest part of the movie for me is when they were in that bar and they're playing pool and they're kind of like talking and stuff like that. And I was like, the dialogue is so bad. It's just so. The best word I could come up with was it was cringy. That was the worst writing of the whole movie to me. It stuck out as being extra bad, but everything else was super entertaining to me.
Well, I will say, I guess to that point, like whenever like you could tell there was like an emotional scene, but it's like nobody knew how to actually cry.
Yeah.
Like their eyes, they could make a sad face. Their eyes might get a little watery, but not a single tear was shed. So again, I don't know if that's Tom Cruise's thing. Like you can't cry.
Yeah.
Or
It could be. I don't
know.
Cut. And they're going to put the little eye drops in as there.
Yeah, nobody shed a tear.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Connelly has aged pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. She looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, that love interest between him and her works better to me than the original one. For some reason, that what's her face in the first movie, I never liked it. And unlike you, I wasn't a big fan of the song. And the Ethan loved the kissing scenes and the making love scenes in those. But yeah, don't kill me, Ethan. Now, another thing that didn't really add up for me was Rooster's age. He was supposed to be 4 approximately in the first one. And then in this one, I'm like, wait a minute. So I remember leaning over to Jen. I'm like, so what is he supposed to be, a 37 or 38?
Yeah,
like
that is a man child.
I was like, wait a minute. He's like, it doesn't add it. He's supposed to be a little, looks like he's younger than that.
Oh yeah, no, he's a boy with a mustache, right. And that's all they did.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't even know if that mustache is real. I doubt it.
Just like his old man though, he likes to play the piano and likes to play
wear loose shirts, the Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And likes the Jerry Lee Lewis, because all the young kids, they love Jerry Lee Lewis, Just heard crickets. I just saw a tumbleweed fly by. All right. Okay. So overall, I think that it was a pretty good movie. You give it a thumbs up?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching it. Even if you haven't seen the original in a while, it should start bringing back some memories of the original. Although Iceman and Maverick were the only original characters from.
What'd you think of Val Kilmer in the movie?
He's seen better days.
Yeah,
that's
I like how Jen was like, "Why'd they have to kill him off?" And I'm like, "He's dying."
He's not gonna miraculously recover.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Meg Ryan didn't make it back. Apparently, they killed her off too, like somewhere. They were like, she died years ago.
She died, yeah. And then
what did they explain how she died? She's dead.
Nope. He's just like when mom died. So I was like, okay, that's
okay. Poor Meg.
Just everybody else, and then nobody else had any mention.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't bring back everybody. It's not that most people that like 20 years ago, you're not hanging out with all the people from back in the day, especially like in a job setting like that.
It was weird seeing Iceman and Maverick text back and forth.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's texting.
No, and what I always like about those are could be dumb, could be funny. Whenever they see somebody like showing pictures of, or they're looking at photos.
Yeah.
And they're like looking at photos of scenes.
Oh,
not like actual photos.
Right.
Like somebody was there and actually took a photo.
Yeah,
like, no, that's a movie.
I noticed that too. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen that picture online. Like that's a screenshot from the movie.
Exactly. So I always find that funny when they do that. Like they're not looking at a photo, they're looking at a screenshot.
Right. That's hilarious. Or a picture that they took behind the scenes, like, 30
and they're going to go
ago.
and incorporate it like it's a real photo.
Oh God! Is there anything that we are forgetting to cover in that movie? Now that we've given the entire movie away.
Hey, we warned them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So if you've watched up to this point, that's your fault.
I think a lot of people have actually seen this. I feel like I'm one of the last people to see this movie, but
and to be honest, I probably wasn't going to see it, but my sister wanted to, and then you mentioned it.
Boom.
I was like,
but you're welcome. You are welcome.
No, I'm glad I saw it. It was good.
Awesome. Well, Erik, are there any shout outs or lady friends that you'd like to say hi to?
Lady friends, lady fellas.
Besides Topher, do you want to say some more, talk some more shit to Topher?
No, I've said what I needed to Topher. So I said he knows where to find me.
Oh man, this is gonna be good. We need to get you.
WrestleMania's right around the corner.
Oh man,
we're good. I've addressed that situation.
Oh boy. Well, how about a quick shout out to Johnny Depp, who won his defamation lawsuit against that psychopath Amber Heard. What about that?
Team Johnny.
Man, like
just like in the first season of Cobra Kai, Team Johnny.
It's but I think that he was awarded like 15 million or something, but I don't think he's going to get all that. But I don't think that really matters. I think that the real victory in this was with the public, right?
Oh yeah,
because he knew damn well what he was doing, and that's everything that he set out to do worked in his favor, because he proved that she was fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, and Amber's own team didn't help her situation much either.
No, and did she fire like one of her attorneys or something like that?
All I know is that they provided plenty of TikTok moments.
Oh God, yeah,
and videos.
It was just flooded with TikTok shit. Yeah. I mean, and it actually kind of proved how bad of an actress she was. She would kind of like, she would do that thing where you're talking about like cry, but like no tears are coming out. And then she'd look over at the jury and she's like, the jury's
so
like,
she probably would have done good in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. She can't cry. No real tears.
But yeah, I just think that she kind of gave a bad name or representation to the women who are actually abused. You know what I mean? Because there's pieces of crap like her out there that it's not good. No. Because now people are like, well, wait a minute. Is this a chick like Amber Heard, or is she actually,
Well, yeah. And it may even set that whole thing back. Like now women are going to be afraid again to speak up because of her.
I don't know. I just hope that, she actually does get cut from the Aquaman 2 movie. Because I think that there's like what did they say? There's like, almost 5 million people who have signed that petition.
Oh, yeah. You signed it, didn't you?
Hell yeah, I signed it. Did you sign it?
I don't think I ever.
I thought you were up for whatever.
I never.
You're like, look, there's always a chance that I can, someday, end up with Amber. And I'm like, you would end up with Amber after all that? And you're like,
I mean, she is getting paid. So, yeah. Like, life's a risk. Look,
she's not going to have any problems, getting another man in the future. There's tons of fetish weirdos out there that are into her,
hopefully the next one she gets is a therapist or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, is there anything else? I think we're all caught up, man.
Yeah, no, it's always good catching up here on the Josh and Franz, having a nice cold drink.
We might need to get you a refill or pour you a mega pint of wine.
A mega pint.
Oh yeah, I dabble in everything.
Yeah. Do you have a charity that you'd like to promote? Well, you don't have. I thought you're supposed to have a charity. I told you to pick out a charity. I'm just. I guess I'll pick one out. That was
a requirement.
I'll pick one out for you later. Then,
maybe the Topher Hospital Fund.
Oh man, this is getting crazy.
When the match is over,
this is getting crazy. All right. Well, hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. Boom, right there. And like, share, follow, all that good stuff. And
Yada, yada, yada.
give us your thoughts on the Maverick Top Gun movie. Did you like it, or are you that one guy that, hated it? I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
And don't get pissed off if you listen and watch this show first before you see it. Because that's
not gonna happen.
your own damn fault.
All right, Eric. Thanks again for coming on, buddy. It's always fun having you on the show. And, all right. Oh,
Top guys
yeah.
out.
Yes. All right. For Erik Tapia, my name's Josh. And as always, thank you for being a friend.